Welcome you in this video. Myself Yogesh Bhavsar, working as an assistant professor in electrical engineering for MVP's KBT College of Engineering, Nashik. So here in this video, we'll study about introduction to microprocessor and microcontrollers. So basically, the microprocessor is a central processing unit of general purpose digital computer. They can address the megabytes of energy and which processes the data, which is the heart of the computer system. So if we see the general architecture of microprocessor, it contains following blocks: accumulator, ALU, working registers, interrupt circuit, stack pointer and program counter, timing and clock circuit. So if we see the function of each block present in microprocessor, the heart of the block is ALU, which is an arithmetic and logical unit, which performs arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, logical operations like exclusive OR, NAND, NOR, shift, rotate. This operation can be done by this ALU block. Working register, there are the working memory registers which are present, which stores the temporary data. Whenever the ALU performs the operation, the data will be temporarily stored in working register to manipulate it. And the result of this data will be stored in accumulator, which accumulate the data and store the results. Now, while doing these operations, there is a stack pointer and program counter. When we execute any program, the program is stored in a memory. So, and memory having an address. So this address can be pointed with the help of this stack pointer. So these addresses will be stored in stack pointer, which points that particular segment in the memory, and that will execute by this ALU. Similar program counter, which counts the program, that means which points the program. So suppose there are 4 lines for the instruction or the program. So the program counter will point that instructions one by one. So after executing first instruction, the program counter will shift to second, then shift to third, likewise. So it will increment by 1. So this is the function stack pointer, which addresses the memory or points the memory, and program counter points the program instructions. While doing these operations, there is a timing and clock circuit which is very necessary. We generate the pulses to perform or to execute the instructions, which is a main component of the system. And the lastly, which is the interrupt circuit, which handles the interrupt. Suppose we are doing a task and there is another program want to execute, so that is what it is handled by interrupt circuit. So these are the elements of the microprocessor system and the function of each element present over here. General architecture of the microprocessor. Now similarly, if we see the general architecture of a microcontroller, so the similar blocks we can see, but the additional block, the memory and the serial input output ports and timers and counter, which are present additional to the microprocessor. The microprocessor is generally the general purpose digital computer. Microcontroller, it is a single chip computer, we can say. So what happens, there is an inbuilt memory. So ALU or all these functions we can execute, the memory will be stored directly into the microcontroller chip. So we don't require any external memory to interface with the microcontroller. Again, there is serial input output ports which are present, so we can connect any external interfacing devices like sensors or the peripheral devices. We can connect to the serial input output ports. Also, in a microcontroller, the timers and counters are inbuilt, so the timing function can also be executed in case of microcontrollers. So this is what the difference from the processor to the controller. So if we summarize what are the differences between the processor and controller, so let us see one by one. Processor is a general purpose device called CPU, and the controller is dedicated chip called single chip computer. So what we studied in previous architecture, so it is a single chip computer. It is suited to processing information in computer system, but it is suited to process to control input output devices requiring minimum components. So we can directly connect here input output devices uh, in case of microcontroller. It contains that ALU, general purpose register, stack pointer, program counter, timing and control circuit, interrupt circuits. These are the components. Okay, in microcontroller it contains all the blocks which are present in microprocessor and has the built-in RAM, ROM, input output devices and time. So these are input. These are already present. It has less number of multifunction pins. So the processor contains less number of multifunctional. It has more number. So multifunctional pins are more in controller. They have large memory address space and more data. But the controller relatively has smaller address space and less data. The design is very flexible, so we can connect the number of the memory size whatever we required. So design is flexible. Here design is less flexible. The program will be limited as the memory is inbuilt. It requires more hardware, right? The input output devices and the memory timer counters which are not present, so external hardware will be more required. It require less hardware. The access time for memory and input output devices are more. Obviously it will be required more access time, so it will require less because these are present in the chip itself. The clock rates are very fast and the clock rates are slow in case of the controller. They are expensive, so processors are expensive as compared to the controller. So this is what the difference between controller and processors. Now move towards the applications of the microcontroller. So here we will focus on microcontroller. If you see, the microcontrollers are particularly used in the embedded system. That is a system which works for a particular task. So home appliances like telephone, security system, intercom, TV tuners, VCR, camcorders, remote control camera, toys, exercise equipment, cellular phones, musical instruments, automation automation system like instrumentation, climate control, engine control, etc. Other applications like square wave generation, pulse, sine wave generation. Industrial applications like sensing robot arms position, measurement of angular speeds, control of speed of DC motor, stepper motor, control, etc. So these are some applications of microcontrollers. You often see these in case of camera, the climate control, the speed control, the microcontroller IC can be used. Now the next we'll see the role of embedded system. Now basically what embedded system is, it is an electronic or electromechanical system that incorporates processor or controller within its implementation. So any particular system which uses microprocessor or microcontroller for the execution of the system result or system performance. It is a combination of hardware and software for doing a particular job. The main task of microprocessor system or microcontroller is to simplify the system design and provide the flexibility. So basically the embedded system is a system which performs one particular task. For example, the printers, scanners, washing machines, sensing temperature, these are all embedded systems. So for example, let's say printer. What is the function of printer? Printer receives command from the computer system and prints the paper, which is only one task that printer has to perform. So it is an embedded system. It contains a microcontroller. That program is fixed. Similar scanner, or you can say washing machine. Washing machine is what nowadays there is fully automatic washing machine there. So it contains a programs, various programs which are stored in microcontroller. So with the help of keys we can set the different programs and your job will be done. So this is what the use of microcontroller, and the system is called embedded system, which is used to do one particular task. So this what examples we have given here, these are all embedded system. So we perform only one task and uses microcontroller for its implementation. So this is called the role of embedded system. And now let's move towards the open source embedded system. Like we have seen, these are all we cannot access it. For example, printer. It is an embedded system, but we cannot access or we cannot change the program. Right? The program is loaded into the microcontroller and it will perform that particular task. So if you want to change the program, we should go towards the open source embedded platforms. Open source embedded platform means these are open source, so anyone can change or anyone can develop as per their requirement or as per their applications. So there are various open source systems are available. Some softwares are there, some hardwares are also there, or the combination of software and hardware also there. So Arduino is one of them. Some the Raspberry Pi is also there. Banana Pi is also there. These are called single chip computers. Arduino, it is also uses the microcontroller. So it is an open source embedded platform based on open source hardware and software, which are shared among the different users to encourage new development in the Arduino platform. It contains the hardware which I have shown here, the Arduino hardware plus software. We can download it and use it from the Arduino official website, and anyone can program it or develop it as per the applications required by the user. So Atmega 328P, it is a microcontroller made by Atmel which is commonly used in the Arduino boards. So that we have to study in the next lecture. So up to these points in this video lecture we have covered. So in next video lecture we'll cover the introductory part to this Arduino Uno. Okay, thank you.